Hi guys, I'm back. Hope you're all well. Firstly, can we talk about spiritual warfare? So, I did not get much sleep last night for whatever reason, but didn't sleep much. Woke up very early because I had to get the kids ready for school. Um, Heard a gentle whisper from God, but an excited whisper about another video today. And where I hadn't slept, I was just like, gosh, no video, no exercise. I need to just come home, come back to bed so that I can be ready for my 12 o'clock meeting. Anywho, I heard him say, I've got you. And so I proceeded to get the kids ready, got everyone off on time. And then my youngest, I got him ready a little bit earlier and then managed to get myself ready in full so that when I dropped him to school, I was able to go straight on my walk without having to come home and have that ability to, sit down. So I went straight on my walk. So I went on my 7K walk, came home feeling a little bit like I've achieved a little bit. And no sooner than I get in the door, what do I hear? Boom, 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 boom. So my neighbour is obviously having some work done. Great. Now, those things don't usually bother me, but obviously, running on no sleep, having done a long walk, so I'm even more tired, it was a little bit, So you might even hear some of the banging, but we move. But yeah, I could hear boom, boom, boom. And then behind that boom, boom, I could hear almost like a little snigger, slight chuckle. And as I looked over my shoulder, I felt the devil's present and I could hear him chuckling. And I was like, oh, it's you. Listen, that was all I needed to see. I was like, okay, we're shooting videos today. We're shooting videos today. Bags and all, we're shooting videos today. So here I am, I've showed up. And today I actually wanted to talk about, you know, as we've been talking about, starting and just when you're taking those initial steps into starting the kind of mindset that you want to be in. You know, even with like a baby, when they take those initial steps, it's always quite wobbly to start with, and then they kind of find their footing. And that's the same as when you're starting anything, you're going to have that initial wobble before you then find your footing. And that's okay, that's part of the process. We've all heard the phrase, Rome wasn't built in a day. And, what that essentially means is that it takes time and patience to create anything that's great. It takes time and patience to create anything that is great. What's the other saying? A Toyota, it takes 1 week to build a Toyota and 6 months to build a Rolls Royce. Now, there's nothing wrong with a Toyota, but you get the gist. And so I want us to consider that, because I think with the microwave society that we now live in, we sometimes get a vision or we have this goal and we put all our ideas into a bowl, stick it in the microwave, press 4 minutes, and bing, we expect it to be ready, cooked, and done. And life isn't like that. Life just isn't like that. I mean, think of when you cook something in the microwave, or maybe a ready meal in the microwave. It's edible, but then versus when you don't have much in your fridge or your cupboard, but then you just, you find whatever, you chop up some onions, you grab some bits from the cupboard, throw it all together, put it in the Dutch pot, put a bit of water, stock cube, put it on a low fire, and let it slow cook. You go off and you do whatever you're doing, you get yourself ready, settle, and you come to eat. What do you more often than not say when you've cooked a meal like that? This is good. And you can't even replicate it because you don't even know what you put in, but it's almost like a proper gourmet meal. And it's that you kind of made something out of nothing. And that is what the journey is like. We can't just press that express button and expect to have it all there right away. And I think sometimes because of the societal pressures, you know, lose this much weight in this short amount of time, and how to get rich in 7 days. Because we see these things, we think when we start something that we've got to have instant success, and it's just not the reality. And there's no joy in that anyway. I mean, firstly, if you lose too much weight in a short amount of time, it ages you. So having some gradualness and some slowness, yes, it can be frustrating, but having that gradualness in the process is the part of the beauty in it. um I also think sometimes the societal pressure in terms of our results, once we start to see the vision, okay, you might want to lose weight or get fitter, and then you start to see yourself as, yeah, when I lose that weight, I'm going to look like an Instagram baddie. Like, firstly, half of them, their bodies aren't real. And yeah, some of them are. And you may end up looking like an Insta baddie, and that's not a bad thing. But we also need to be realistic about how our bodies are. And actually, as long as you are doing the work, you're 3 months in, 6 months in, 9 months in, 12 months in, but you've been consistent. Wherever your body lands, it may not look like an Insta baddie, but I can assure you, after 12 months plus of consistency, you're going to be a better version of yourself. And there is beauty in that, regardless of, there is beauty in that. You are a better version of yourself. And that is, somewhat part of the goal. Also with business, there's so much put on how if your business isn't booming, you're not successful, which is a lie. There's nothing wrong with, small businesses. There's so many of them out there. And God tells us that we shouldn't be afraid of humble beginnings. There's so much beauty in that. Look at when those chain coffee shops come to a small village. What often happens? The residents, they get all territorial over the small coffee shops, and they don't even welcome the big chains. It's not that either's coffee's better than the other. I mean, there may be small differences, but it's that there's beauty in the small. And so we shouldn't be afraid of that. And sometimes we can sit in bondage to the grand vision of what we think this thing should look like, that we don't even start. And so I'm saying there is so much beauty in the growth, that you just need to start taking those initial baby steps, just one foot in front of the other, and not worry about the end goal. Let that form itself organically based on you taking those steps towards it, and learn to celebrate yourself on the way there. I mean, another example, like if you are on the fitness journey, don't wait for the scales to tell you you've lost your 4 pounds down before you say you've got a win. If you do 3 or 4 days consistently, and that's the most you've done in a row consistently in forever, then you need to celebrate that. Whether the scale says you've lost, whether it's the scales have gone up, whether you've remained the same, the fact that you have been that consistent, that's a win for you. And you need to celebrate that. And you need to celebrate it so that you can stay on that motivation and momentum to push you into that next week of being consistent, and into that next week of being consistent. Start small, see where you land, and just, yeah, one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, baby steps, and eventually you'll get there and you will reach your goals. So yes, just a short video today, but I hope that sits with you. Have a lovely rest of day, and until we speak again, take care. Bye.